Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's Take 5 with Steph. And I have a special guest, Amisha. She is co-founder of SciArt Agency. She has a background in biology and a PhD in neuroscience. Her unique blend of science and business acumen brings a unique perspective to business in the biotech and marketing industry. SciArt Agency uses data-driven and creative strategies to transform your website into a powerful strategic asset that will connect with your audience and expand the demand of your services. Fantastic. And also, I'd like to share that Amisha is my wonderful partner in helping me with my website, my client, and has actually become a friend of mine over the past couple of years that we've been working together. So thanks so much for being here, Amisha. I can't wait to have our chat today. Welcome.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you. It's nice being here.
That's great. So tell me, let's start off with what inspired you to create your business?
Yeah, so this is a tricky question because I didn't have like this big aha moment or like one moment or one circumstance that inspired. It was growing during the years. Um, so together with my husband, who is a geologist and a developer, web designer, we were always having side gigs during the university years, web development, design stuff, just to pay our tuition and sustain ourselves during university. And so we started to grow a group of friends who were also designers, developers, and we were working on ad hoc basis on projects. And one thing I noticed back then, and also when they started to get, especially my husband, more serious projects, development, tech projects, and design stuff. So I started to notice a gap between the communication they had with their clients. They were doing gigs, freelance gigs, and sometimes this project didn't turn out as they wished. And the main issue here was they were speaking a different language with their clients. They were very techy, geeky folks, and the client had a vision or had a goal. Sometimes a blurry vision, sometimes a specific goal, but they were speaking different. The communication wasn't always flawless between them. So that was the time when we decided, okay, we are starting to work as a team, not just freelancers doing projects here and there, and we need someone who will communicate with the client, who will understand what they want, and then translate this to the developer team or the designers. And that was when I started to work with them more closely. And for my background, so I was spending a lot of years in academic research in biology, and then I jumped into the industry for a short period in the biotech industry. It was a biotech B2B, and I noticed similar patterns that I noticed that these companies, they don't really use their websites as an asset. So I was before working on websites as well, and then I noticed that they don't really use it as an asset, or because it's not suitable, because it's not in the shape to be used as a sales asset or a connection asset with potential clients, or a communication asset, or because they never even thought about that. Especially, it's not just the biotech industry, because we have a lot of clients in different industries, mostly in B2B and professionals and service providers, B2B service providers. So in many niches, this this connection and client acquisition goes more in a traditional way, especially if it's a specific niche, it's through connections to trade shows, to conferences, to traditional in-person networkings, and they were never thought of having their content, their online content, their online image created, crafted in the same way they craft their presence in a networking event. And that was an opportunity. So since I also worked a lot on content and translating scientific concepts that can be interesting for the public or more comprehensive for the public, or for a potential client, my part here is the content. So I was fascinating about scientific content, how can be presented, how can its online visibility be grown. And that was kind of an inspiration to, okay, now we are going to become a team, not just the freelancers, not just working on ad hoc projects. We are going to create a framework and work strategically on projects where we can holistically grow our clients' online reputation, and to show them that yes, they can get business from their digital assets that they have.
That's great. That's quite the journey. You know, when I listen to what you're saying, it's almost like the scientific thought process and experimentation that you have in your background is
Yes.
actually what guided the creation of your business, where you tried things, you tested it, you were observing, and then you discovered a way to come together as almost like, you know, an organism or a community and provide this service availability, like
Yes,
there's an opportunity.
exactly. There are a lot of similarities in marketing and science. You work with data in both, and then you have to do a lot of trial error testing. So the very high level concept, there on the very high level concept, yeah, there are a lot of similarities in approaches, how we approach conversion rate optimization for a website. It's very similar to how we test out a hypothesis that we have in science.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I've seen firsthand how creative your team is, and also technically inclined to be able to bring a brand to life. Like, I've been quite impressed how you've done that for my business, just by looking at my branding and then coming up with a great online presence. I think now more than ever, having a really strong website as your own storefront and showing what is unique about you is really important in this day and age, with there so many people that do what you do, and to differentiate yourself and show what makes you unique. And a lot of that uniqueness can come through creativity and visual illustration of that, which is fantastic. So tell me a little bit about, like, I've just been impressed with our work together, how quickly things have gone. You know, I've helped project teams and businesses, and sometimes website projects for a company can take months or years instead of weeks.
Yeah.
And when I started to work with you, I almost wish I'd engaged you when I first started working on this project, because it turned into days and weeks of momentum. How do you, what is the approach you take that you could share with the audience so they understand what makes you unique in the way you work?
Yeah, so your case, so it always takes two. It's not how long will a project take, a web design project, a web development project. It's always on our side, on our team, how creative, talented they are, but also it takes what we have from the client. Do they have their vision already solid? If not, it's not a problem. We can start from there, but that's a different approach, a different starting point. So in your case was easy because you already were prepared with the brand guidelines. We received very good material from you. You already had your brand figured out. You knew exactly what you needed, and that's easy to translate when you have creative people on the other side. It's so when we
So
start,
basically, the investment that I made to really get clear about what I wanted and have the brand and
yeah,
know what I
you
wanted to go out
already
first
put
round.
those years of work
Yes.
into
Yeah.
it. Um,
Well,
when we
that's
want,
interesting. I started my branding first before I even started my business. And that must be because of how I grew up in the marketing agency world. And I worked with such talented creative directors. And I picked it up like a sponge, like since I was a young 20 something, right?
wow,
It was just like my
wow,
whole
yeah,
career has been in marketing and different aspects of the process for marketing. And I worked my way up in
yeah,
the world there. So it's just I've done a lot of different things. I guess I must have that must have influenced me a bit, and
yeah,
that sort
that
of
shows.
helps me realize the need to educate our clients when we're helping them to bring them along on that journey and speed it up a little bit and make sure they understand the value of investing that time and we help in helping them where you can with that. So that's
Yes,
really
yes,
really
exactly.
good.
Yeah, it shows that there are years of work in that. Um,
Mm.
we also when we start a web design approach or any web design project or any design project, we always start with asking if they already have the concept or brand guidelines or messaging. If they don't have this, because we get these queries to, okay, I want a logo, but for a logo, what is in a logo is not just a graphic. You have all your positioning, your message, everything inside that one graphic, and that will guide you in your messaging, in your further assets, digital assets that you create or other assets. And so when we start a project, we have our brand strategist who is going to guide you if you don't have this. And we never start like, okay, I want a new website and for my new business, or I just want to change my previous website for a completely new thing. We never start just like that. Okay, try to figure out what the client wants. We have to do the work before that, the strategy, the positioning, the potential messaging, their idea, clients, uh, the tone of voice. So all these
Yes.
that goes into the branding and
Yes.
positioning. And from here, if we have all these, uh, it's easy to set up a process and work quickly on schedule with
Nice.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. Well, it sounds like you have a whole process and you start where the client is and help them through that
Yes.
journey. That's fantastic. Well, we've been working together for a couple of years now, and you've been part of my advisory program where we meet monthly. Tell me if you look back before we started working together and what it's like after we've been working together, what's it been like working with me? Like what are some of the differences or aha moments? Can you share a bit about that?
Yeah. Yeah. So it was a great journey because if I if I now look back, um, I was when we started working, although we had already a team and everything, we were still working like freelancers, I think. We became more strategic starting to work with you made me more aware of where and how I invest, not just my time, my team's time. And so it helped us to fine tune our processes, to see where we waste time, where we, so specifically these, yeah, like getting more strategic, how we use our resources. It helped us a lot. And also how we value our own work and commitment, and also helped us to define our ideal client as well, and our ideal way of working. And what was specifically helpful for me, apart from keeping me accountable all the time with short and long-term goals, which helped me overcome some day-to-day challenges and reprioritize. Apart from that, I'm a skeptical person, so especially
That's
when
the
it comes to
scientist in
like,
you. Yeah.
yes, when I do read a lot of leadership books and like advices and all this stuff, and there are great stuff out there, but I'm quite skeptical because especially my circumstances were, I felt sometimes were very different from what I read in these leadership posts or books.
Mm-hmm.
And you helped me because you are also a parent and leading a business, and this perspective and the solid and grounded advices that I get were really the things that I needed that time, and that I need now as well. So yeah, I think it helped me structure better the business life, aligned with being a parent, and to shift this mindset from doing freelance gigs instead of business, like
Yes.
strategically. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that. I am just so thrilled to see how your team is growing and that you value yourselves and the process, and that we get to connect monthly, not just about the business, but about you and making sure you're feeling good as a co-founder and a parent, and that your life is balanced for you. And I don't really like that word, but that you have the right mix of attention to the different areas of your life that are important for you. So absolutely thrilled and happy that things are going in the right direction. And just to kind of celebrate, I am seeing your revenue go up incrementally the longer we work together as well, which
Yes,
is really what makes me happy, that you're getting the, not just that you value yourself, but you're getting the investment from your clients that you deserve to have the life and business you deserve. So it's fantastic. So thank you for sharing that. I think we'll wrap this up shortly. Just one more question, and then I want you to share what's on your mind with everyone. If you could go back to your past self in the first few years of business, knowing everything and where you are today, what would you tell yourself back then? Because I think there are a lot of business owners listening that would, that might be in the first 3 to 5 years of their business, and they might really appreciate hearing from you. What would you tell yourself?
Yeah, so I think I would have getting support and help from someone experienced right at the beginning, someone like you. Yeah, I think, yeah, that would be the first thing. And then to be more strategic at exactly from the beginning not so being more aware of my 6 months, 1 year, 3 year goals right from the beginning, because especially at first when you have all these challenges with getting clients, setting up your team, it's very easy to lose track of that. So I think that kind of confidence, to keep that kind of confidence in yourself and your team, you have to stay aware of your goals and to
And
be
celebrate the progress you're making.
Yes,
Sometimes
I
when we're
think sometimes
connecting, we're like,
people look back.
look at all the things you've done. You're like, oh, I didn't realize I did all that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's maybe, yeah, more reflection. I would tell to myself to reflect more on the previous months, quarters, years that you arrived to this point, to keep that confidence going even in challenging times. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. Good advice. To wrap it up, tell us, what are you excited about right now? What projects are you working on? What do you want to share with the world that SIAR agency is focusing on at the moment?
Yes, so now we are focusing on strengthening and building more relationships with the biotech sector and medical device sector. It's important for me personally as well, to connect my marketing experience with my love for science, and that's where I come from. And we are very excited seeing all these new potential partnerships that we are building right now. And our tech team is growing as well, with some great new folks and relationships in there. So it's an exciting time in the background. It's not really a visible thing right now on revenue or in our portfolio, but it's a background process right now, which is quite kind of exciting, with really amazing new people and connections in our network.
That is exciting, and it's a huge advancement in your business. And to give people a little peek behind the curtain for us, what you're talking about is part of your 10-year vision that we're working on together.
Yes.
And you're laying the foundation of making those connections and partnerships and testing things out so that you will probably get there faster than the 10-year mark, which is technically in 8 years. I think you're going to get there a little sooner because of the amazing partnerships you've already started to build in your community and with your business. And that is so important, to be getting ready before you need it, and to be laying the groundwork for that long-term vision while you can. So that's absolutely awesome. And that's really what it means to be looking at short-term and long-term goals. And that's why you're excited, because you're not just focusing on what's in front of you. You are most of the time, but you're making time for what's ahead of you. And that's fantastic. Yeah, thanks so much for sharing that. It's been so much fun to chat with you today. I love how you shared your journey with everyone, how your unique ability to combine creativity and science and bring that in to what you do from a marketing perspective. It's very interesting, and I'm seeing firsthand how powerful that can be. And I just think the world of you and your team, and I can't wait to see what you all do next. And I just hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Stephanie. It was amazing. It was a nice chat.
I'll talk with you soon.
Talk to you
Take
soon.
care.